Before anyone says anything, yes, I know this video is from 2017, but I mean, he commented a year after the video went up saying PC gaming is still dead. So I don't care. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuero despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte de beso despacito. Firmo las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo manuscrito.
PC gaming is dead.
No.
This is something that like a lot of people are in denial about.
Because it's not real.
People have been in denial about this for years, I would say, but...
Well, some people are just really, really dense. Also, why the fuck are you wearing your earbuds like that? Are you too lazy to untangle them, sir?
PC gaming is very much on the decline. Like
1 billion Steam accounts, by the way.
Companies like Valve, who used to exclusively develop like interesting, unique titles for PC.
1 billion Steam accounts, by the way.
For like working, educated adults they've basically stopped existing. Like
Valve has stopped existing. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and just assume you meant that their game development doesn't exist anymore, which isn't true. We have Artifact. I mean, yay. But I mean, that's what happens when you put a lot of effort into creating a huge digital distribution service. You don't need to make games anymore. A lot of people get on Valve's case for not making games anymore, and as much as I would love to see them, make games, I really can't blame them for stepping away from game development because look at what they have made, Look at what they have now. You don't have to be a dev to make it in the gaming industry, and for some reason it seems like people only get mad at Valve for this. Activision doesn't make any games. They just publish them.
Pretty much everyone releases games on consoles now too.
Yeah, everyone releases games on consoles. Everyone. Everyone makes games on consoles. Every game is on consoles. It's all on consoles. Go buy all the consoles.
PS3, PS4, and Xbox One. They aren't real consoles. I mean, good consoles, I know.
Then why are people making games for them?
But they do release on consoles. And I know people are trying to say consoles are becoming more and more like PCs, but...
Well, I mean, in terms of construction and hardware, yeah, a little bit. They're getting more like PCs, but in terms of the capabilities and the actual functionality, no, they're nothing like PCs.
They're still very much consoles and a lot more accessible than owning a gaming PC,
I was on your side until you said they were more accessible. The PC is far more accessible than a console. It's more customizable, you got more options, you got more services, you have more functionality. Everyone knows how to work a PC. Stop using accessibility as an advantage of the console and a disadvantage of the PC. I hate when people do this. It doesn't make sense.
You can buy a console, expect all the games for it to run really well. And you don't have to worry about technical things. They're just so much more accessible, and that's their...
Yeah, there's no technical problems on consoles, guys. None. Anthem bricking your console? That doesn't exist. Fallout 76 barely functioning on consoles? That doesn't exist. Seemingly every new AAA game having glitches galore on consoles? That doesn't exist. Sub 30 FPS? That doesn't exist. Sub 1080p? That doesn't exist. Fake 4K on a 4K gaming machine? That doesn't exist. Everything works fine, guys.
People aren't just gonna stop buying consoles because you can get the same result on PC. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, true. People aren't going to stop buying consoles, but people are going to start playing on PC. PC gaming is by far the biggest gaming medium. It's way bigger than consoles globally, and it's growing every single month. Like I said, billion Steam accounts now. Billion with a B.
But it's interesting to see just how devoted PC gamers are to PC gaming exclusively. They refuse to touch any sort of console gaming.
Well, once you start playing on PC, it is hard to go back. To say that most PC gamers don't care about consoles or don't play on consoles, I don't think that's entirely accurate. I think most PC gamers have owned consoles or do own consoles, play on them from time to time. I know I do, and I know the PC gamers that I play with normally, they also have consoles that they play from time to time. But when you start playing primarily on PC, it is really difficult to go back. It's just so much better on the PC. You got the higher frame rates, the better resolution, the mods, the more graphical options, the more games. It's really hard to go back.
Thing, and it's like it leads to like really weird situations, like the whole Stardew Valley thing.
What?
When that came out, PC gamers like were like acting as if like a game like this had never existed before. They had never seen something like this.
I remember when Stardew Valley came out. I don't think people were acting like it had never existed because, I mean, if you know anything about Stardew Valley, you know that it literally is just Harvest Moon. People weren't acting like it was a brand new thing. People were just acting like it was a fun new game, which it was. People being excited for a game doesn't mean that we think nothing has ever been like it before. Like fucking console players. Why is it when when a new third-person action game with stealth and cover mechanics comes out on the PS4, people act like it's never been done before? It's just hype culture, bud.
It was like something completely new and unique to them, and it was like the greatest thing ever. It was a Harvest Moon ripoff. Harvest Moon has been a franchise that's been around for like 20 years.
Yeah, it's a good series. Or, it's not really my thing, but people love it. And people love things like Harvest Moon. To my understanding, Stardew Valley was just like a more refined Harvest Moon on a platform that more people had, the PC.
And like there are a lot of entries that are a lot better in Stardew Valley, I can tell you that. Like even like Harvest 64, like the second game in the series is like better.
Did you just hold up one finger when you said second?
It just goes to show you just how narrow-minded these people are. They like
PC gamers are narrow-minded because they liked Stardew Valley over Harvest Moon. By that logic, you're narrow-minded because you like Harvest Moon over Stardew Valley. This isn't a point. And also, you said before in this video that PC gaming is dead, but now all you've been talking about is how much PC gamers loved this new game, which kind of hurts your point.
They refuse to like look at anything outside of their very narrow worldview. Like,
well, you can say that about any people who play on any platform. If you play on exclusively one platform, yeah, you're going to be more concerned about what happens on that platform. I'm still going to follow what happens on consoles, but I'm definitely more interested in what happens on the PC because that's what I primarily play on. This shouldn't be news to anyone.
To them, like IGN giving like the PC version of Prey specifically a bad review is like an attack on their credibility as like the hardcorest of gamers, you know?
Now, I wasn't really paying attention to the IGN Prey review, but after looking into things, it seems to me that the main problem people had with IGN's review was not the fact that they reviewed the game poorly, but rather the fact that they reviewed the game poorly based off of one bug that had already been fixed by the time the game came out. IGN had given Prey an 8 out of 10 on the consoles, but they dropped it all the way down to a 4 out of 10 on the PC because of this one bug. Cutting the score in half because of a bug that a minority of people were going to experience was extremely dishonest. I'm not at all trying to defend games that are given to people with a bug in them and then you're supposed to discredit the bug because, oh, it'll be fixed later. I hate when people do that. But this was kind of a unique case. To give the game itself got an 8 out of 10. But the PC version got a 4 out of 10 because of this one bug that not everyone experienced and was also fixed extremely quickly. That was dishonest. Do I think the bug should have been explained in the review? Yeah, absolutely. Should it have been docked points in the review? Yeah, absolutely. But to say that the PC Master Race is mad about an IGN review because they reviewed a game poorly, that's just you not looking into things.
It's like, if the game really doesn't run well, like let them give it a low score, you know? Like I wouldn't be mad if like, I think they did give lower scores to like Batman Arkham City on Wii U and Assassin's Creed 4 and that kind of thing. It's because those games did noticeably run worse. And
exactly. If a game runs worse on a platform, you should adjust the score accordingly, but not cut the score in half because of a bug. Prey ran just like every other PC version of a console game. Prey runs infinitely better on the PC than it does on the console, but it was given half of the score of the console because of a bug that was fixed. Also, looking into IGN's PC review, it's hard to find it now because they've done their best to erase it from the internet. But just going off of what people have been saying, apparently they also reviewed the game on an extremely low-spec PC, something that was not suitable for what they were looking to do, which is extremely unprofessional for a game critic.
They kind of deserved it, I guess. None of them were unplayable, unlike Prey, apparently, but it was like a well-deserved score, and like nobody like came out and like shit on them for it, unless you like outright came out and said the game was unplayable, because those games were not unplayable on Wii U. They were just not as good.
Well, it's hard to play a game on a Wii U if you don't have a Wii U. Lol, lol, lol.
It's too early to say if like there's anything seriously wrong with the Prey game, but
well, according to Steam, the game has an 88% approval rating after 11,000 reviews. So, yeah, this was on IGN's side. It's kind of like they gave a dishonest review and people called them out for it.
I'm leaning on. I'm supporting IGN here.
Well, of course you are. You're a console fanboy. Why wouldn't you support IGN? They give all your games a 9.
It really does seem like there's something seriously wrong there. Like Bethesda has a history of like releasing these really shitty games, and then like,
well, Bethesda doesn't release shitty games. Well, case by case. Bethesda doesn't release shitty games, they release kind of buggy games, because normally the games that they develop are very large and very trying to do a whole lot of things at once. And while I wish they were better with their bug testing, usually people are willing to overlook the bugs for the end product. In recent years, that's a little less so. But to say just flat out that Bethesda games are shitty is wrong. Also, I find it hilarious that you're talking about Bethesda games about a minute after you said that consoles run all games great. Do you want me to show you footage of Bethesda games running on consoles? No? Well, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Sort of a locked 20 FPS for a good minute stretch, let's say, with dips to 15 FPS in this spot. It wouldn't be representative to say, this is how the whole game runs. Of course it isn't. But the fact that this can happen, and for such long stretches, is extreme, and it's quite a shock when it happens. Obviously, we go into the Xbox One X version, thinking it's going to clear all of this up, much like the Pro did, but in actual fact it's the complete opposite, and we've got perhaps the worst reading of them all in this area. So that goes down to 15 and even down to almost the 10 FPS line, which really takes you by surprise and shows just how variable the frame rate can be between all 4 formats.
That, my friends, is peak video game performance. Take a good hard look at it, guys. PC gaming is dead.
These unfinished games and then like patching more stuff in them, like finishing them like after they're out, and it's just, that is unacceptable. You can't like...
Kind of like every developer does nowadays, unfortunately.
That is unacceptable. You can't like justify it.
Okay, so where's your beef with mainstream console games then?
The way like the vast majority of the gaming media has been doing, as like being part of the fun. Like, I love seeing all these glitches. I love seeing how the game fucks me over.
Alright, so then why is PC gaming dead and console gaming isn't?
I love how this like... Shit. Yeah, we saw a lot of this during like Fallout 4's like reveal where like
And we see a lot of it now. And how sad is it that we saw a lot of it in Fallout 4 and we saw even more of it in the next Fallout game?
Who was it? It was Rooster Teeth, I think, who were like talking about how like the glitches were like all part of the fun and why they gave the game like a glowing review. Or
oh, look, Rooster Teeth said something not smart. Look, I love Rooster Teeth's content, but their like reviews and their discussions, like when Rooster Teeth tries to get into actual game critique and game discussion, I love the Rooster Teeth podcast and I love the shows that they produce. I think we can all agree that when Rooster Teeth tries to get serious, so to speak, they aren't very good at it.
Whatever, and I was just like, oh, this is what like gaming media has like fallen to. Like,
you said at the beginning of this video, PC gaming's dead, so can you get back to that, please?
In a weird way, although I hate IGN, I always will, they're probably one of the better ones out there, because I don't see them like supporting like Emily Rogers rumors, for example. I don't see them like making stuff up like other people do. I don't see them like clickbaiting as much. That's very much like a Polygon, Destructoid, DualShockers thing.
So, oh my. When you start taking the things that IGN says at face value, you seriously fucked up somewhere.
IGN doesn't really do that.
IGN doesn't clickbait, guys, don't worry. Also, since you want to bitch about PC gamers being upset about an IGN review, let's go ahead and look at the fucking Days Gone IGN review. IGN gave Days Gone a 6.5 out of 10, and the video has 25,000 dislikes.
I guess they don't really need to, since they're like the biggest gaming website out there, I believe. I'm sure they are. They're IGN, Internet Gaming News. It's like, duh, of course they're the biggest. But yeah, they suck, but there's much worse out there. And
they suck, but I'm going to trust what they say at face value. Also, PC Gaming's dead.
I'm glad to see them like come out and like talk down about a big release this way, and like,
you're happy to see them talk down about a big release this way. Well, like I said, they didn't. They gave the console version an 8 out of 10 and the PC version a 4 out of 10 because the person who reviewed the PC version was unprofessional as hell. That's not talking down about a big release. That's games media being dishonest. Surprise, surprise, that's really common now, unfortunately.
Show people that there are issues with like these big high profile games that
also PC Gaming's dead.
Other people aren't willing to like come out and like criticize, you know, because
they're not real.
Because like they're scared like the publisher is gonna like come down on them hard.
You know, if I was a publisher, I would come down on these people hard if they gave a super dishonest review of a game. Oh. Your video's over. Well, you heard it here, guys. Let's pack it up. PC Gaming's dead. Please turn in your keyboards at the door and go to your nearest GameStop to buy a PlayStation. Pre-order your PS5 so you can experience ray tracing for the first time ever and 8K gaming. Because those are things that are going to exist. After all, why wouldn't you trust games media, right?